Have you ever felt as though you were lost, too far from God to be accountable for your mistakes, or you are beyond His reach because of your crimes? Are you now certain that He's left you, or perhaps you believe that? Tug on your heart as if someone were calling out your name from a distance, asking you to return to a location of. Picture yourself standing where peace and love converge, afraid to turn around from a road's edge because of the embarrassment you get when on. Jesus observes that He is waiting on the other side. Every part of your story is known to Him, and He keeps standing there with His arms extended, regardless of the amount of time or progress you've made. How often have you gone there, failed? The one who will wait for you is Jesus, a good shepherd who makes an effort to find. Arms are absent from the person who lost lambs, cross in disapproval but extended in mercy, with her patient affection, never-ending and His wish infinite. Let's look into the significant fact. Together, God's heart is more than merely forgiveness fills it with longing for Him to come back to. Among the most powerful verses for children that exemplifies the patience and compassion of Jesus is found in Isaiah 3:18, NIV, but the Lord wants to reveal. Therefore, He will get up to show. The Lord is a merciful God. Those who wait for justice are blessed. Although God wishes He were giving, He isn't. Comfortably seated, unconcerned with your challenges, He proactively seeks to let go of His. There is really little sign of tenderness in His waiting, unwavering affection in spite of desertion in Luke 15. Jesus shares a narrative of the wayward son of a young man wants his. He gets the house from his father and squanders everything on careless. He is living a broken and impoverished life, feeding pigs and desiring to eat their food, and then he remembers his dad's, a house where even slaves have enough. He decides to return expecting nothing more than to be treated as an employee, but his father observes. He sprints distantly toward him, welcomes him, and reclaims him as his son. This story exemplifies God's love. Jesus is right. He is not distant from you, waiting outside your heart's entrance, awaiting your request to allow Him entry, refuses to force Himself on you, but He's always nearby, ready to fix and restore your vitality as soon as you get back to Him. Reflect on His powerful statements in Matthew 11:1, 28:30. Visit me if you're worn out and weighed down, and I'll let you slumber. Put on my yoke and learn from me, because my heart is modest and compassionate, and you would give you the opportunity to rest from my yoke is easy and my load is light. Calling come to me. Jesus doesn't look back at your past with rejection, but at your future with Jesus' hope. In John 10 verses 14-15, confirms that, as far as I know, I am the good shepherd. My sheep know who I am. I know the Father, and He knows me. For the sake of the Father, I gave my life. Never does a shepherd leave his sheep. When sheep wander, He searches for them, so they can shout their name until they're found. In Luke, in 15:47, Jesus says, let's say one of you has it doesn't matter if you lose one of 100 lambs. He departs from the 99 in the vast land and hunt after the elusive sheep until he finds it, and after finding it, he joyfully places. He carries it on his shoulders as he goes home. He then calls his friends and neighbors and proclaims, come celebrate with me, I found my sheep that had gone missing. I tell you that similarly, there will be more celebration in heaven of a single sinner who, more than 99 good people, confess their sins. They are not obliged to see the shepherd's joy and turn from your sins. He finds the missing sheep in this way. Jesus cares about you, which is why He is not waiting. He has His arms folded and is frowning, looking forward to and ready to enjoy your return. The story of Jonah reflects this. Jonah was generously called by God to Jonah immediately started running away from Nineveh. Guidance. He boarded a ship that was traveling as far away from God's will as he could. Even in the womb, God did not desert him. The huge fish had God's hand on it. From the bottom of his heart, Jonah cried out, and God, regarding Jonah 2 verse 2, Jonah, when I needed help, I dialed the Lord, and he answered me from the bottom of his heart. The realm of the deceased, I asked for help, and you listened to my weep. No matter how far you've strayed from God, here's His love dictates that he wait while sobbing. He ought to pursue us and consider Peter bold. He promised to be deeply imperfect and passionate, would not turn away from Jesus, but fear overcame them, and 3 times he rejected him. Think about the humiliation Peter experienced following Jesus. However, the crucifixion described in John 21 verses 15 to 17, resurrected Jesus restores Peter by imploring, "Do you get what I'm saying, Simon, son of John? Love me more than this 3 times." Peter answers 3 times when Jesus asks. Jesus waits for you like this, my darling, not just to forgive, but also to make amends, and you have now extended your call. So let's proceed to A, the story of the last minute. While Jesus was hanging, grace. There was a criminal on the cross next to him, declared the words Jesus, and acknowledged his divinity. Remember me as you go into your kingdom. In Luke 23, verse 43, Jesus answers, in all honesty, I think you'll come to paradise with me for this incredible. This moment reminds us that there is always late, despite the fact that he was dying. Jesus saved the thief because he was waiting for him to arrive. This is the magnitude of God's boundless kindness and available till the very last minute. Why does Jesus wait for us when we fail? Often, the answer is found in his character. 2 of Peter 3:9 explains, the Lord doesn't take long to fulfill his promise, since slowness is perceived by some. With you, he is patient rather than hoping that nobody passes away quite yet, so that everyone can wake up. God's patience is not inaction. He is waiting for this reason, charm-filled and designed to provide you. He has time to return every second he waits. Is another example of showing affection. Close to you, remember stories from our historical narratives of the departing individuals, from belief to Jesus, with endurance, awaiting the delivery of a strong testimony. From Rebecca, who grew up going to church but fell into despair and addiction. She believed she had overreached herself until she mumbled, alone and broken by the darkness, "If you're real, Jesus, please save me." In that, immediately, she felt a surge of peace, and she shares her story with you today. Love. Remember that he can get in touch with anyone. In a different narrative, Daniels is a businessman who prioritized success before God when, after losing everything, as he opened a Bible, his J had been read to him by his grandmother. Jeremiah 29:13, you'll seek me out and find me when you desperately search for me. In brokenness, he sought Jesus and found the one who waited the whole time, actions to return in a useful way. Thus, how do you recognize this fact and embrace recognize that you can't accomplish it alone? Psalm 51 verse 17 states, "My sacrifice, O God, is a broken spirit, both broken and repentant." You won't be disappointed by God. Spies look to Jesus. James 4 verse 8, when God hears promises, he will embrace his grace and get close to him. Remember that the author of Ephesians 28 verse 9, your faith has saved you, grace. And this is not coming from you. God's gift, not something that must be earned, so that the atmosphere of the Embrace community is something to be proud of. Be in the company of people who are encouraging to you, your reaffirmation of your belief in Revelation. In 22:17, we hear the bride and the Spirit. Hurry up and let the person listening speak. Let the individual who is thirsty come and give the free item to anyone who requests it. The gift of the water of life Jesus is. The entrance is open, so he will never have to wait. When you try to enter, the invitation is, you will be there to step through at all times and go into his hug right now if you're feeling lost. Remember that Jesus' arms are outstretched. Turn around, yell, and observe the joy upon having been found, the celebration of, only you will find heaven waiting for you.